Friday Night Fight. It's actually a League match, believe it or not. So this evening we have Team To Be Determined versus the Horsemen. I am your host, Chaos Axel, and tonight joining me in the booth is going to be Mr. Jake Holds. Jake, how are you tonight?
I'm good. How are you, my dude?
I'm doing pretty darn good right now. You know, it's a Friday. I've had my chance to unwind a bit, and I'm excited for some Overwatch League play.
Let's get into it as soon as both teams are ready. Then
Most
let's. Who do
definitely.
who do you think is going to win? Is the
Ooh,
bigger.
that's a loaded question, my friend. So we've seen some roster changes now from both sides, actually. The Horsemen and Team To Be Determined, formerly known as the Chompettes, have both had some major shakeups with the rosters right now. So I'm really curious to see what's going to happen. I would say that it's really hard to call this just sheerly because I don't know what to expect. You know, Jake, do you have any thoughts on the current rosters for either team?
I've not seen or played with many of the Chompettes, but I've played with quite a few of the Horsemen. I know that they've got a lot of potential within the team, so I think both are going to put up a very good fight, and hopefully it's a good show for everyone watching.
Most definitely, and I'd agree with that. Let's see here. I'm going to confirm with both captains that they're ready to go. But yeah, it's hard to tell for me personally. I think we'll have some better ideas once we actually, excuse me, once we get through the first round here through Paris of all places. It's gonna be something, this
This fir-
Paris map.
this first chokehold is very defendable.
It's something that kind of makes or breaks teams. You know, like we're gonna see really quick what each team had planned for this because you got to come out of the gate swinging pretty darn hard to be able to break through that first choke point. Especially if you're running like a bunker comp or something like that, it's going to be tricky.
I would agree. I can definitely see bunker comps coming out on the defense here,
So, side
especially
note:
for
forget
point A.
bunker comps. So, goat comps are so 2018. Forget bunker comps. That's where we're at right now.
I mean, I think it'll still be exceptionally powerful throughout all of our Nerfed League, definitely, especially
Yeah.
on maps like Paris.
Well,
Your
and since
2CP maps with these chalk holds,
mhm,
they're so claustrophobic.
that's an
It's just
excellent way to
hard to
put it,
get through.
actually. But yeah, I was gonna say, you know, that this first one here, it's bunker comps are like with every in our quote unquote second week of the Nerf League, you know, with Paris being in everybody's game rotation, it's very easy to imagine that we're gonna have to deal with, unfortunately, bunker comps every time somebody plays on Paris, which is gonna be every single team is gonna have a chance to get exposed to this map in the Nerf League.
Yeah, I think this will be a lot of teams' first big challenge against a bunker comp. I think it point A is such a like I said, that chalk hold, it's so focusing that the bunker comp with your Bastion, Orisa, and Baptiste, it just focuses so much damage down a small alleyway that it
Mm.
can bottleneck, and people just get confused and stuck there without meaning to. It's a really weird situation that you can find yourself in, or I found you can anyway.
I would agree with you, and I'm really excited to see what people are going to have to be able to. Okay, both teams are ready to be able to break through that. I mean, you have to expect that both teams are fully prepared to deal with a potential bunker comp right now because that is kind of the meta right now. So I'm waiting to see more strategies to be able to break through the choke point. And you know we have to throw out our obligatory forget you boat Titanic number 7 and Titanic number 8. I don't remember. I'll sync both of you eventually. Give it time. But I really would like to see more variance in our abilities to break through the bunker comp that's going to inevitably set up right on this little area right here that I'm focusing on.
I think a nice dive could take a with a Winston and maybe a wrecking ball instead of the Diva, just to cause that mayhem,
Sure,
could
I'd
work.
give
But
that.
I I mean, you've then got the Roadhog to take out the Bastion. Maybe it's there's plenty of ways to do it. It's just finding the best way to get through and break that
Definitely. So we're seeing the team to be determined is going to start on defense here. So we don't see a Bastion, surprisingly enough. They're actually running Junkrat and Reaper as their DPS. So playing a little bit more of a traditional comp versus this bunker that we've kind of grown used to. On the other side right now, we see again a more traditional 2-2-2 style of comp where we've got Ryan and D.Va as the tanks, and then Mercy and Lucio as the healers, and again another Reaper coupled with a Soldier on that side for DPS.
Yeah, I think the Soldier and the Reaper could work well together. I'm not sure what they're exactly going with, but it'll be an interesting. And I've just spotted that Banner's just arrived at the fight just in time, but they were stood near spawn for a long while. So I'm wondering if they were talking about changes just before
maybe.
the.
So we see LA Mewtwo kind of set up in this little hole here, this little hotel area, and they're just kind of pegging away at the shield power of the team to be determined. While the rest of the team is kind of spread out on the side here. Ooh, and Vanna gets the first kill of the game here onto D-Wade's Lucio.
That's a huge pick onto Dwayne, yeah. Taking the healers out first, especially with all the movement with the Lucio.
So here we see Archon already having an ult. Wow. Archon's Mercy already has an ultimate here for the attack.
I imagine they've
teleport goes up somewhere.
Done by the amount of ult charge.
There it goes. There it gets popped right now.
I imagine Vanna's done a lot of damage. She's got a
DMAC right now.
Already.
Vanna goes down, but we do get a DMAC.
Tornado's on point with just Archon.
Reapers are kind of trading blows here, but it's starting to feel like this is in the Horsemen's favor. Alright, Toking ends up taking down Tornado, but we have LA Mewtwo kind of taking it down here. A res coming in onto Tornado. Yep, I think that's going to do it there. Excellent Soldier ult from LA Mewtwo.
That was a great push from the Horsemen in the end. I thought with the first fight going the way it did, I thought it was going to be tough for the Lucio to get through the choke, but it didn't seem like there was much focus fire on him when he came back. So
the trade-off there is that right now Team To Be Determined has a lot of ultimates in their bank versus the one onto the Horsemen.
But they do nearly they've almost got the Reaper ult and they've almost got the D.Va bomb, which both can be, especially with the Reinhardt shatter. If we get a good shatter off, this can cause
that can be pretty game-changing.
Yeah, especially with the Reaper ult now, it can that can shred through people.
So here we go. We see the Horsemen are kind of forcing through in the back here, making their way around the point, and we see LA Mewtwo getting a first pick onto our Falk.
Nice, that's a huge pick, but they do have spawn advantage, obviously, with the...
Oh, there's the Reaper ultimate in the middle of everything. Toking goes down, followed by Archon on the other side. Dracos has got a pick there and use the Chicky. We're back and forth right now for both teams. And here comes a D.Va bomb kind of in the middle of the point. Does actually pick off Dracos, and this is feeling like Team 2B determines. But here comes the D.Va bomb. Does not get anybody. It gets a DMAC, excuse me.
Which is good for this. Obviously, the fight's over, and they've only got the baby D.Va, but...
Great hold by Team 2B Determined there. They really fought and were able to utilize their ults in an effective way to be able to keep the point.
Yeah, I'd agree. I mean, especially after losing Moira as early in the fight as they did.
Right? We see a switch on always Adriana switching off the D.Va onto the Zarya here.
I like that. I think you're a bit more set up. So I think it can work more in these close corridors than the D.Va. You don't always need to retreat as much, which I think the D.Va's there better for.
I'd agree with that.
They've not really got any...
Vanna getting the first pick on a Dracos, though. Dracos gets res.
Back up, so. The joys of a Mercy, right?
Right? Oh, and here we go. We got an ultimate coming down from Reaper from Toking. Doesn't get anybody. We have a Junkrat tire coming in from Vanna, though. It's going to get Dracos' Reaper.
That's 2 down.
Here comes another ultimate from LA Mewtwo. The Soldier ult gets one right to start. Vanna goes down. We see our Falk going down as well.
They need
So
to
we
push
got...
in now. They've got 2 left.
Ooh,
Oh,
Toking and Always were the last ones alive, but now it's Toking and US of Chicky on her famous Orisa, excuse me, brain fart. But we see the Team To Be Determined is filtering in pretty quickly. Vanna gets a good pick on Archon there. Switch to Mei. I think that's a good pick. Mei is a stall queen. Absolutely great when you have advantage on as a defender. And that wall is going to kind of shut the door.
That's a literal nope, not today.
Pretty much, yeah. So a couple of key switches on the Team To Be Determined that I think are going to be really effective in the long run here. Seeing both the Zarya, who's great at stalling and keeping others alive, and the Mei, who is the stall queen of all things.
And Zarya is about to get a ult, which...
Yep,
with the
90,
Reaper
98 now?
ult, could be
Oh, yeah.
huge... With the Reaper at 86 as well, that could be a huge
Reaper and
combo for
Moira,
them.
I think, are great pieces to be able to combo with that.
Yeah. Especially, like, I know that Reaper got the nerf, the buff to the nerf sorry, to his lifesteal. Yeah, I mean it was 10%, so it was quite a
Wall
nerf,
goes down, doesn't quite
still...
cut anybody off.
No, the wall kind of didn't do much. I think
Oh, we see a freeze coming in, not quite able to get... Oh, but there we go, that's a great pick-off. They need to be able to capitalize on that. Freeze that D.Va. D.Va's frozen, but the team is going to be able to filter in. Almost a great time there for Team To Be Determined to push in and get a pick.
They should have pushed in fast and hard on that D.Va then. I think they could have capitalized on it and lost the made the DMEC at least.
Definitely, at least if not the full kill, but not 100% coordination from Team To Be Determined. But regardless, still holding strong. Just under 2 minutes now left for Team To Be Determined to hold. Barrier down for the Reinhardt. Pushing in hard is going to get one.
Nice
Here comes some ults everywhere. That's a great ultimate. Kills Lady Shart in the Orisa ult. But this is starting to feel pretty heavily into... I was going to say into Team To Be Determined's favor. Into, rather... the Horsemen's favor, but now it's actually feeling like Team To Be Determined took that fight. Lady Shark getting a late pick on the LA Mewtwo, and it looks like I lost my party, apparently. My co-caster is gone. So I need to get my co-caster back, because that's kind of half of the battle, right? I apologize, everybody, for the slight technical difficulties. It would not be a Bronze Taco stream without some technical difficulties, so just bear with me for just a moment. We are back to the action here. It doesn't look like I missed much of anything, though. Alright, back for the last minute right now. Ult economy, nobody has any ultimates. Jake, I apparently lost you. Nat Type doesn't like you.
Yeah, no, it said you'd left me, so I don't know what had happened there.
I think that's on my end, and I don't know what it is. Regardless, we're back in it. Last minute left. We have Adriana with the only ult is Zarya right now.
It's a huge ult to keep for this last fight, especially with the Orisa ult coming up.
Oh, here, and it got launched. There it is. It's kind of launched in the corner there. They're going to get the freeze, potentially, but that's about it.
They didn't really use... Yeah,
that wall almost caught the D.Va. Vanda does pick Tornado off. Good start. All right. So, Team To Be Determined is really good at controlling the point, making sure there's no actual progress happening. Here comes the Orisa ultimate. Pull that Reaper away from that. Reaper does get the pick, and then we have LA Mewtwo on it.
Has been on the point at all times.
Draco's getting a pick.
For 6 minutes here.
Here we go. We're in the last minute here. Drake was getting a pick, getting 2 picks combined with LA Mewtwo. This could finally be it.
Yeah,
the Horsemen might finally be getting it here. They're getting 1 tick at least. Here comes a 2nd tick. All right, we have the Moira on point now. That's who's not going to live too long though, and that's going to be it. Excellent last fight from the Horsemen there. Took that last minute effort, but they did get it.
And it was as soon as they actually combined the ults, so as soon as the D.Va ult and the Reaper ult came in together at opposite directions, it caused that separation and that mayhem that gave them the space to
and that's exactly what they needed there, yeah.
We'll see. I would predict that the Horsemen come out in a bunker, but we thought that last time, so it'll be an interesting to see what happens, right?
Most definitely, yeah. I understand why Bunker has made its home in Overwatch, thanks to Baptiste being, totally not broken with his immortality field. But my own personal grudges aside, I do like to see variance in defenses and attacks for that matter. So we'll see. But I'm seeing the Bunker. Yep, there it is. I try and say I don't want to see it, and they're like, "LOL, we're gonna play it anyway."
But it looks as if Team TBD has actually thought about that the bunker might be coming out with the Winston and the D.Va, something to dive onto the bunker and cause.
And the Sombra to be able to hack either the Baptiste or the Bastion to be able to disrupt it. So I applaud Team To Be Determined for being ready.
And if you can get the May wall onto this wall just in front of them with how far back they're set, you can completely shut off the field of view until you get down.
Absolutely, yeah.
So it's a good thought process altogether.
I feel like you kind of need that May if you're not running a Reinhardt, but we actually see LA Mewtwo getting a little bit of early ult charge, and we have a... Oh, I was going to say Lady Shard's Winston going in, but dies immediately, followed by US or Chicky trying to help out.
And
Token and Panda, unfortunately.
Yeah, I think if you're going to do that, you need the full team with you.
Yep.
I don't get why you would have. I don't get why they separated as much as they did.
I think the Winston thought that they could. Lady Shark thought that they could be able to pick off the soldier maybe, and that kind of forced their hand. And we saw, US of Chicky kind of coming in to follow up to be like, hey, we can totally do something about this and get the kill there, but. Alright, so now we see successful penetration by the Sombra here to be able to get into the back line. Wall goes up like you were suggesting, and the team, to be determined, does make it all the way through the choke here. They're going to have to deal with the Bastion regardless now, but they're through, and they're just trying to go all the way around. I think this is the best way to counter it. Just take all the way around. They're already getting progress here.
Yeah, if you make the Bastion move, he's nowhere near as effective.
Bastion's frozen. Bastion has an ultimate, but is frozen and hacked. Frozen again. You need to kill that Bastion now. He does go down. Excellent plays by To Be Determined here.
They put everything
from both sides. D.Va bomb.
The Bastion, which is what they needed to do.
Artfall getting a couple picks, followed by Lady Shark getting a boop kill there, but LA Mewtwo is just ripping them apart on the other side.
And Deadly ate
there we go.
The Blizzard back from the mare.
So it's the D.Va off. We're left with the D.Va off here. All right, there we go. So we do have a hack. Oh, but Token goes down. It is literally just the D.Va off. Here comes the other D-Mech. It's two baby Divas facing off. Oh my god, who's going to win the D.Va off, guys?
Adriana's going to be close to getting a mech.
I'm going to go ahead and turn health bars on so we can see. There we go. Mech is back. But the Mercy's back on the other side. So there we go. That's
a great hold in the end.
Yes, it is.
I very much thought that
amazing D.Va off there.
Win that.
Yep, I think. Oh, and TBD though, because the bunker was disrupted, they're able to kind of group up and already get into this area here, past the choke point.
Yeah, it's a very long route back from the defensive spawn.
Ooh, Ari's Adriana is getting that. I'm sorry, not the ultimate, but the mech back very quickly. LA Mewtwo starting it off with the pick on a Lady Shark though. There we go. D.Va mech is back. They need to do a hack bomb. They need to do a hack bomb like right now, I think. Here comes the bomb. Where's the hack?
They don't run anyway, so the issue was.
Unfortunately, the effort was there, but not quite enough. We have Lucio coming down now.
The room where they've got the Bastion is fantastic. There's a lot of protection for him.
D.Va bomb goes down. Does manage to get always Adriana, who's D-Mech. Lady Shark to follow shortly after. And Boop from US of Chicky, master of boops.
Who doesn't love a good boop?
Thana goes down here, 30 seconds left. So this is going to be rough.
The Moira yet, though. The Moira's just off to the right-hand side of
Yep, I see the silhouette there. They're looking for the Moira, but the Moira has not yet been found out. I probably would have stayed closer to the point in case you needed to do an emergency touch, which looks like exactly what they're doing right now.
Yeah, I think that's... Oh, they found it, though.
Okay, oh, and there's a pick there! That's a key pick on LA Mewtwo! They need to push on that right now! Which they are. To be determined. There we go. Ultimates are coming down. They know this is their last fight. Unfortunate boot from one side, though. Comes the freeze. That's going to catch pretty much everybody right now. Almost all of them. Lady Shark gets a kill. Diva Bomb going down. There we go. Great Diva Bomb. Combination of ultimates right now are huge. And I think that's going to be it. I think To Be Determined are going to take this.
They did use too many, in my opinion, but you need to take the fight win, so it's worth it.
In overtime, right? Yeah, you take everything you can. You throw that kitchen sink out there. Excellent take from Team To Be Determined. Not ready to give that point up.
It was a fantastic blizzard.
Yes, that started it off.
It actually landed and not eaten by the Diva this time. It changed the fight.
And so we already see the bunker back strong right now on this slightly elevated platform here.
And they're waiting for something.
Where they at? I think they're trying to probably regroup and collect their thoughts. That might be a situation where you didn't think you were going to take it, but you did. So it looks like they're going left, though, for the attackers at least.
Yeah, Sombra's in the back as well, so I think they're waiting for the Sombra to get round and give them the information.
96 to ult too, so good wall. That's going to immediately kind of block it off. The Bastion can shoot through that pretty quick, though. And we see LA Mewtwo kind of off on the side again. Immediately,
the nice thing there was that they got the lamp out from that.
Mercy's alone. All right. LA Mewtwo picks US of Chicky, though. Ooh, and as well as Vayna and Token goes down. I think that you're going to have to call this off as Team To Be Determined. Yeah. Not quite out the window, so Lady Shark's going down.
Diva has escaped, though, so that's one of the...
Yeah, always Adriana was able to kind of back off there, so they do have the hack. They're going to have Primal Rage. They're going to have Sound Barrier, so a lot of ults are trickling in a lot faster for Team To Be Determined than they are for the Horsemen. Alright, so here we go. We have another push kind of in from this left area. We see the Sombra kind of hopping out to the front there to start this off. I mean, unfortunately, Team To Be Determined isn't aware of the ultimate advantage that they currently hold very heavily, with 4 ultimates to 1 right now, and that's to 2, excuse me. Still heavily in the favor of Team To Be Determined here. So they're back, they see the bunker. They're trying to pick off LA Mewtwo, who's going to manage to get away now. We have this Diva that kind of came out alone. They need to pick this Diva. Alright, here we go. Oh, hack goes in, so no immortality fields at least. Tornado doesn't get to pick on a Lady Shark to start this. US of Chicky nice down. Vayna picks off D-Wade, so there's no more immortality fields for the time being.
They've used it anyway, so I think it doesn't matter as much because he's not there to be able to do it.
And it looks like this is going to be the end to this particular push, unfortunately, for Team To Be Determined. So time to regroup once again. Again, heavily ult favored, but they're losing that advantage with every second that goes by. It's 5-3 now, so... I understand that they're trying to kind of regroup again, but they really need to push this advantage.
We did see the ult come out from D-Wade as well at the start of last fight.
Yep, so they used the damage boost field. So here we go. It's the last minute. Again, Hack Bomb is available. They need to set that up a little bit better. We see Toking already coming around. Like, you need to launch Diva Bomb, like, right now and then hack.
But it needs to land in this room. So
there it is, there it is. There it is, perfect! Exactly perfect! 2 kills! First tick already down, perfect! Hack Bomb from To Be Determined. There we go, look at that. Is that the game right there? That's it, right there! Perfect Hack Bomb!
Great, great
Holy crap! That is exactly what we needed to see. That was perfect!
With a quicker time bank as well.
Yep.
That's amazing.
They weren't in overtime. Yep, they had that full minute 30 back there. That was, well, technically 30 seconds, but that was still an incredible take by Team To Be Determined, getting that hack bomb down and doing exactly what they needed to do. Excellent take.
It'll be interesting now to see if Team TBD actually keep with the Junkrat and Reaper or the May on defense, or if they now jump onto bunker with only a minute to go.
We'll see, because, I mean, they do start, Team To Be Determined starts on defense here, so they need to figure out what they're doing and get out there. So we see the May all ready to start. They just need, if they're running the 2-2-2 like we're assuming without the Baptiste, they need one more DPS for Toking, who's going back to the Reaper.
There we go.
On the other side, we see...
This is what
Go
they
ahead.
had on defense. Second point, so this was their B defense, and it worked really well for them. So
It was just those key fights
it
that
did
kind of
it.
broke them on both points, though, where it was just kind of that, much like they did to the Horsemen, it was just those key
Yeah,
fights that ended up breaking everything down. So we'll see if that's
two
going to happen
two
here
big
as well.
wins to take it all, pretty much.
So we see D-Wade on the Zarya now, so they're running, I think, pretty close to the exact same comp minus the Diva now, the Horsemen are. Rushing right up here.
Yeah, and we've had Archon change over to the Lucio with Bedwin now swap onto the Mercy instead of the off tank.
Yeah, there was a
We've
bit
had
of a
complete
switching of
role
the
switches
comps,
as
but
well.
a little bit of disparity with that shield placement, but I don't think it's going to punish them just yet. Already now the Horsemen down to 30 seconds. They have to know that they're very limited. And that
they've
Reinhardt is
ignored-
kind of alone. They need to pick that Reinhardt right now. Focus him down.
Dracos and LA Mewtwo are in the back on their own. No one's
Oh, and there we
picked them
go.
off yet.
Tornado is down. There goes the Boop. I saw the Boop. Great pull by US of Chicky.
That's
Famous
huge.
for those pulls now. Dracos is down as well.
And Dwade's frozen and down.
Yep.
There
we go. It's just the
Horseman.
That's what it's looking like right now. Reaper goes down. It's just the soldier who's going to have to run it out. Can LA Mewtwo touch the point is the question, and that's going to be a no. Excellent hold by Team 2B determined.
So the best we can hope for now is for the Horsemen is a draw, but we can get a win for Team TBD.
Yep, TBD now has their destiny in their hands with this one. If they win this, they just need that first tick. If they can get it, they win, and they take their first map of the season. No pressure.
1 minute 30. Yeah, 1 minute 32 is a huge time bank for one tick. But
It is
like we
potentially
said,
two pushes. I would say two good
Yeah.
pushes is what you can accomplish in a minute 30.
Yeah, I think the Horsemen were very close to getting back there, and if they'd have had that extra 30 seconds, I think they would have. So
They could have potentially had a better fight if they were able to regroup for two good ones rather than that one long extended one that they ended up having. But
yeah,
either way, so we have another very similar attack composition from Team 2B determined, and again, I think an identical defense setup from the Horsemen.
both teams are running the same as they did on the first defense.
That initial push, yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
So here we go. It's do or die time. Right now, with their first map win of the season on the line, Team 2B determined. Need to make this happen. Need to just take a single tick, and they take their first map. So I'm kind of following Vanna now. See what they're doing. See if I can flip through and find Sombra, find Toking here. Because I have no idea how this is set up and why it goes back and forth. There we go. So Toking, already behind them. I'm glad I followed Toking. Already in the back, getting the key hacks off onto the Orisa. No extra shield, and Blink's back immediately. Blink's all the way behind them right now, so I think that's going to be a big deal. And that's going to be the go button for Team 2B determined. Unfortunately, they're the first ones to lose the Diva Mac. But they're getting it! The tick! It's right there! They got it! They got it with the first map win!
That's a huge first win.
The Horsemen not able to come back because they were so distracted with the fight! Incredible take by Team 2B determined. And Draco's getting play of the game here.
This will be the second end fight, yeah.
Yep. Excellent ult. That was, that's what ended up winning them the entire thing on their attack there.
Yep. That was a lovely finishing ult. That was a great fight from both teams.
But how about that back cap, though?
Yeah. It was, with the Sombra always there, like, you should be aware of it. Like, it's something that Sombras have been doing forever. Even before the Unlimited Invis, like, it's something they were doing with the 5 second. Was it 5 second? 10 seconds you used to have?
That's a great question that I don't recall the answer to. I'm still just stunned at that incredible take by Team 2B determined, taking their first map win of the season. You know what? They distracted long enough that that little hack was enough to turn the Horsemen around to try and focus down the Sombra and just those distractions. The Horsemen kind of losing track of the fact that it's not, you don't have the whole bar, you have one tick you need to turn around for. And Team 2 Be Determined taking full advantage of that. Excellent take by Team 2 Be Determined.
That bar moves very quickly as well. As soon as you get
Oh yeah.
into
With all three,
like
they
as
had the
soon
whole
as you
team
get
on there.
yeah.
Like up to having your three max on there, yeah, it just sped along. And the Horsemen were not ready for that at all. Okay.
I think what have we got next? Is it Eichenwald?
Let me take a peek here. I was just about to look that up. So, Jake, which of the two teams would you like to analyze here?
I'd like to have a look. I'd like to analyze the team TBD again. Like I said,
Sure.
they're not a team that I've seen a lot of. And what I saw there was very good teamwork. It looks as if they've played together for a long while. I'm not sure. Especially with the coordination between the Diva and the Sombra at the end of the first push. That was a lovely combination. Lovely placement on the Diva bomb as well, right through the window. So I think they've got a lot more to show for this next fight. And I'd like to see more from the Horsemen. Like I say, I know that they can do more. They've got some great players, so I think it'll be a strong fight altogether.
Yeah, definitely. And I'm not. My excitement is not, to rain on the Horsemen's parade. They still did excellently. Their bunker comp did exactly what it needed to. But honestly, what happened is exactly what I see happening to bunker comps. It's that one fight that you lose that is catastrophic and destroys everything that you've been trying to hold on to. And it's just that one fight that you slip out of your hands that ends up losing everything. And that's why bunker comps in their own way are a bit all or nothing. You either go all in and live by the bunker comp, and you die by the bunker comp.
Yeah, I think there's obviously ways around that, especially with Baptiste now. But if you're not quick enough on moving the Bastion, that's what it all hinges on, and it
Yep.
might not even be the movement of your Bastion. It might just be your starting placement. There might be a better place to start that can give you that sight line as well as give you the sight line on the point and not a diveable sight line. I don't know. I've not tried it enough on that map, but
It's not my favorite thing to run myself, so
yeah. It's got a time and a place, right?
exactly.
For me, it's normally you're under it on point B on one of these maps.
Definitely. So now
And
thinking
you
about
can
it, the
get
Horsemen
Bastion now.
yeah, the Horsemen are due. They also, I believe, are looking for their first map win of the season. So now I would love for this to go 1-1 into the third map. I would be incredibly excited to see both of these teams take a win here. But Team 2 Be Determined, formerly known as the Chompettes, have been kind of down the rough and tumble path where in the preseason they took some scrims and they weren't doing so well. So it's great to see them finally have a combination that works for them to be able to pull out a win. The Horsemen, I think, have all of the talent there. They just kind of need to slot everything into the right places, and they will be able to win as well.
I'd agree with that. I think with the whole Eichenwald being it is a point capture like we've just seen, but then it does go in with it being hybrid. Should I say it goes from the point capture into the payload? I think you've got to be a little bit more adaptable on the payloads, and you probably won't see as much of a bunker. So you might see it on defense A, but I can't see it being run for the rest of the map. So it's interesting to see what we'll see coming into the second round.
Yep. So I've gotten confirmation that both teams are ready, so we're going to roll right into map number 2 here.
Amazing.
So on to Eichenwald, but yeah, I think you're completely right. Where you can maybe bunker it out on that very first point before the payload moves, but after the payload's moving, it's very tricky to find good places to put down your bunker because the payload is mobile at that point.
Yeah, I'd agree.
So we shall see what we get here. A couple 20-odd seconds away here. I need to quickly hover over and call out my usual literally unplayable terrain from Blizzard here. If I recall, nope, it must be out over that way. Because I need to remind
It's
the
near
Blizzard
the
design team
storm.
that they cannot leave this crap unpopulated because I will find it and I will complain about it. Over here, yep.
You can't get as far out as I thought you could as well.
So you see everybody, you see this square of literally unplayable terrain here, how it's just like one square out of everything of this grass here. Like, look at this garbage. Like, get out of here. Come on, Blizzard. I see this stuff. I call it out every time. Get real. But anyway.
So we've got a weird... If this is what Team TBD are running, I think it's an interesting comp, to say the least.
It is.
With the
definitely.
Zarya and the Winston.
I mean, you can protect your monkey for a bit when he jumps in. On the other side, we see the Horsemen kind of settling back, kind of far back here, not in the choke, back by this building.
Yeah, I'm used to that being the setup, especially with the Orisa. I think that's quite maybe a little bit further forward, but you get the full protection.
Personally, I would say that's weak-blooded, but that's just me. But that's also me being a Reinhardt player with my Happy Shield. But anyway, so the Tracer not really getting to the back line just yet, just kind of taking pot shots with the team. There we go. And the Tracer, Toking's Tracer now dashing all the way to the point, kind of trying to force the Horsemen to turn around a bit.
Deadly did head off in the Diva. And they've all moved back to point now, which is nice to see that they are moving as a unit from the Horsemen. So we'll see how it...
Oh, and unfortunately, Deadly getting the first blood on the Toking's Tracer.
But it seems like the Team TBD are pushing in.
LMU2 picking Vayne as well. So there's already a couple picks down for To Be Determined. Another one right there. Unfortunately, we see the Lucio in a trap, but they can't capitalize. And the picks are just slowly rolling through for the Horsemen here.
So what had happened there was the Horsemen pushed in from the bottom with the Orisa still staying on the right, so it was almost like they'd cornered the Team TBD, so they had nowhere to go, and it meant that the fight was stalled out far longer than...
We see Vanna switching off the Junkrat back to that Mei that she's been playing very well.
I think they're used to playing with the Junkrat, obviously with how they were running as the Chompettes.
Lady Shard losing a lot of life there off of that soldier, kind of finding him, trying to group up. See the Reaper trying to drop down. Oh, there we go. Orisa coming down for the damage. And there's a Reaper right in the back lane. Immediately picks Lady Shard, though.
Yep.
Draco's great moves. Oh, and here comes an ultimate already, getting two.
The ult straight away. Yeah.
Dies for
he
it,
just
but...
got it as he drops down.
Need the ability to fly through walls.
Fight for the Horsemen. And that's it.
Yep, and Horsemen really strong here with their holds. All right, we see a Reinhardt switch now. Lady Shard has switched over to the Reinhardt, which she had in the last fight as well. I didn't call it out.
I think that's the right move here. I think, especially with the Zarya, it's just a more natural fit together, right?
I'd agree with that. So both of the DPS for the Horsemen kind of waiting to drop down and feast on to the onto Team To Be Determined, but they're ready for it this time. Token getting the first pick onto a healer is key. That's already 3-4 down there. LMU2's ult is for nothing. We have an ulting Mercy, but I don't think that's going to be enough with the Diva.
No, I would agree. She's looking for the res, but there's just no one to
It's right
res,
into,
really.
yep, and there we go. Ult expires, and that poor Battle Mercy's trying, but Archon is going to fall. All 6 members of Team To Be Determined on the point is going to take it.
If I was the Horsemen, I would do what they're doing. They are backing off, and it looks as if they were going to push in, but I think it's the safest option is for everyone to back off and regroup and take heed and go again, right?
Most definitely, yeah. This great effort from Team To Be Determined to kind of, go through a couple losing fights and then find that right combination to be able to take it. Excuse me, take a quick jug of water here. All right, oh, and we get an early pick from Deadly back onto Toking again. So 1
I
DPS
think,
down. Oh, I hear the ult come down, but it gets
huge.
eaten. That feels bad, man. Oh, D.Va ult coming back in response. It's gonna get no one.
It doesn't do much, but it did take a lot of health off that Reinhardt.
Yep, it injured
Reach
Lady
just
Shard to
coming
the
in.
point that that Team the Horsemen couldn't be able to take him. Team the Horsemen, excuse me, the Horsemen. Adriana getting a pick again onto D-Wade. And Tornado is super low here. They need to be careful. Ultimately, Team 2B Determined is ripping progress away from the Horsemen here.
With a good time bank, the clock's still ticking as this payload's just slowly moving along in between.
Hello, wall. Alright, there's a wall behind Tornado. I don't think he realizes is there. Here comes the freeze to just make sure that they're going to be able to get this free progress here. Can't really fight in the May ultimate. And
No,
there we
the
go,
only one
Tornado
that
going
really
down.
can is probably Tornado.
Oh,
with
there
his
we go,
follow-up.
ultimate from Dracos again. Hammer comes down, gets
But a
one.
huge shatter.
And the Reinhardt does die for it, unfortunately. Here we go, ultimate not eaten by the Zarya. It's going to kill off D-Wade and Archon. Both of the healers down right now for the Horsemen.
In there as well, the full storm was used away from the grab.
There we go. Okay,
They got no one.
There's a baby D.Va in there, but I don't think the baby D.Va is going to quite be enough to stall here. Yep, and there we go. Deadly Silence
She
goes
was
down to
alone.
Vayne.
It's never a fair fight, a baby D.Va against a May. It's
Oh,
just not,
great
it's
boop,
just
though, from
entitled.
D-Wade to kill Vayne right there. Goes down for it, but great boop.
He was doing some great stall tactics on the cart as Lucio there.
Here we go. We got Dracos' Reaper trying to hold on as long as they can. D.Va ult coming down on top of the payload. Doesn't kill anybody, but
Doesn't
does
get
pop
anyone.
Lady Shard's ult or barrier. Excuse me.
Shield. And Deadly's out of the D.Va mech already. That's a big loss.
Picks
in
or
this-
not, there's a
this fight.
slight spawn advantage for the Horsemen, but as soon as I say that, they are falling very rapidly. Bomb comes down.
That's a great boot from D-Wade onto Shard. Onto Lady.
Alright, there we go. Another freeze. There we go. The Zarya ult may be not needed, but it's going to guarantee you kill the hell out of that D.Va.
I would agree. I think they were going for obviously more people, but
Freeze. Here comes another
They've
May
done-
ultimate right onto the point. And we have the
they've
Reinhardt
done amazing here to
in the back there
hold it as
taking
long as
pot
they
shots.
have.
That Reinhardt in combination with the Reaper ult, great triple, quadruple. That's a team wipe.
Both from Dracos and
That'll do it.
Tornado. That was huge. That's a huge fight to stop it just before point 2.
Spectacular hold from the Horsemen there. Soldier ult kind of started it off and softened the defenses, and followed by Draco's quadra kill on the Reaper there. Excellent Reaper ult. Spin to win, my friends.
I think that was. They've now got a win point. You've got a place to win. You know what you have to do. Go out
Yep,
and do
there's a
it,
very
right? That's
definite
what
push
it comes
there.
to now.
So we'll see if the Horsemen now fighting for their first win of this season. Or no, they won't. Did they get one? No, they didn't. So they're
No,
fighting for
this
their
will be
first
their
win as
first
well.
season.
And here it is. Both teams can start this off by getting first map wins of the season here. Horsemen in a decent position to do so here if they're able to get a good attack going.
It would be interesting going into the last map because, especially with the Route 66 being a payload map, it's got to be won. So one team will.
Yeah, we
lose
can't
the-
end on a tie with that one.
today.
Exactly.
Yeah. And after this map now can't be a tie. So someone's going to take a full win today, which is huge for the season.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the fact that if the Horsemen win it here, it means you go into this final push with
Kind of sudden death
this
thing.
final fight. Yeah.
Ooh.
You've
We
got-
see kind of a partial, not a I guess I can't really call it a bunker comp because it doesn't have the Baptiste, but we see the Bastion coming out from Team 2B Determined.
It's what we'd call a bunker before Baptiste was a thing. So
I suppose that's true. Alright, so the bullet's coming
got
out.
the
Oh,
bridge to
wow,
protect
insta
as
pick
well.
onto Tornado. Tornado's dead. He's going to get rezzed,
Wow.
but... Oh, pulling
That
that
was-
Zarya out, though.
that was ridiculously quick.
Team 2B Determined is not messing around here. They want this win. They want to be able to take the 2 wins home. Good push, though, from the Horsemen to get onto the point quickly. Excuse me. Oh, I see. That's an Ash that's almost dead. Swing comes down. All right,
That's
two
huge.
quick picks from the Horsemen.
Two huge picks, yeah.
Both the DPS are down now for Team to be determined.
Stop the res. Nice.
Not quite enough. Will Galaxy Cat is dead, and that's pretty much everybody other than the Diva right now. It's not going to quite be a team wipe,
That's a huge
but pretty
push.
damn close.
Who was left, or was it just too long, I think?
Yeah, that's pretty much it. All right, here we go. So now with an impressive time bank of almost 5.5 minutes, it's going to be on Team to be determined to get some kind of a defense rolling here. I see the dancing going on right now. Oh, there we go. LMU2 just kind of kicking back, dancing on the point.
So, Barnard's swapped off to the Junkrat now and taken the high ground. So they've got the Junkrat and the Ash up on the high ground, which should hopefully help the Ash, obviously, with the close range protection.
But now they have to fight this Soldier, who immediately picks Vanna and Toking. Both DPS are down. So LMU2 not to be trifled with.
The Horsemen are really
tearing them apart.
The Horsemen are pushing up and fighting for every inch here.
But right now
this is a great time bank so far.
They're slamming the Team to be determined right now. We get a remake at least for... Oh, there we go. Vanna finally gets a pick on Archon. Oh, and great pick by Toking to pick off Deadly. Both healers are down, so the Horsemen are kind of in a bad position here.
I was the Horseman, I would definitely back off and
Adriana picking up
4 minutes here.
And Adriana also getting Tornado. Ooh, I am in a room here that I shouldn't be in.
Yeah, I think back off, regroup, go again. We've got 4 minutes here to take it. Not that
absolutely.
Far.
There's no rush here.
13 meters they've got to get it at the minute. It's
so I peeked down at the chat right now. Team to be determined is red right now, and with 5 ultimates, with great ult economy, is the Horseman in blue for this map. So I see a lot of damage coming down though for Toking Panda, up to 86% on Bob. But they need to get back to point right now. The Horsemen are pushing really hard to the point. Hammer comes down, and the Zarya ult, which gets the Baby Diva at least. Ult's getting launched every which way. Ooh, fantastic double, taking out the tank line for the Horsemen, as well as Archon. Vanna finally goes down.
Though.
Dracos gets picked, doesn't pick anybody though for the Reaper ult. This isn't going to be another hold for Team to be determined.
I would agree. I think they need to regroup and probably do a ultimate push and just try and build up as many ults as they can and just push in and use them all to just win a full fight. Like, if you can get all 6 and use them.
Alright, so kind of occupying Archon. Ooh, LA Mewtwo is the one I've been trying to hover down on. There we go. LA Mewtwo is just kind of taking it to the to Team 2 to determine here. Almost dead, but gets the D-Mech, and I don't think Baby Diva is going to be able to fight that in a healing field, especially not with the Mercy on him.
That, with the amount that they've got here, they should be pushing this.
Here we go. Here comes a couple ultimates from the Horsemen. Yep, there we go. Ooh, Galaxy. Ooh, Vanna getting 2 again. Vanna putting Team 2 determined on her back, but this might be it, actually. Okay, 2 have come back. 1 tank and the Ash. I think you need to burn Bob here. I really think you need to burn Bob here. There we go. Yeah. Toking getting Bob on the point. Give me a bit of a heart attack in the meantime, and that's going to be enough. Tire comes down. Not really necessary, but I understand why it's done. Because, you know, you're stressed out like that.
That tire will be good and just stall.
No such luck, though.
No.
Now
They've
to
just
a minute
given
45.
ult charge to the healers.
Yeah. So right now, ult economy is kind of weak for both sides. We just have right now Deadly Silence on the Mercy having ult. But there we go. Okay, always Adriana has one now too as well.
We've almost got the Shatter as well, which could be a big...
And on the other side, you have our folk almost having the... okay, there we go. Mercy ult. Almost having Rally as well, so... Right now we see the Orisa kind of lady... Oh, never mind. Diva Bomb coming in. Does get Deadly. That's a big pick. The Slam killing off always Adriana. Fighting back and forth. Tornado getting a couple of key picks here. This might be it, though. Last minute.
U2's got his ult here. This could
Tornado
be a
getting another
nice way to
pick.
finish it up.
This might be it, I
This
think,
should be the this should be the map for
for
the
the
Horsemen
Horsemen.
here.
Okay, here we go. But we got the trickles coming in right now. They're not,
We had
the
we
team
had
to be
the same
determined is
thing
not willing
for,
to give this up. But that's going to be
there
it.
you go.
All right. The Horsemen able to take it and get their first map win of the season.
Congrats to the Horsemen winning their first map this season. I think it gives a lot more going into the final map.
Oh yeah, that makes this so high pressure because now either team can win. Like, oh my god, I do not envy either of these teams right now going into this 1-1. But yeah, I'm surprised it wasn't Dracos's, but I guess just LA did so much work that Dracos just kind of cleaned up.
Sometimes the nerds on the side of the screen don't tell all of the story, right?
Right, exactly, and again, we saw how many bullets that soldier was firing. Dracos did a great job activating the ult to polish everybody off, but you know, in the meantime, you have the soldier just kind of reducing everybody's health to like 10.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we've got Route 66, I believe, for the final map.
That is going to be our last map of the evening. Is going to be Route 66. I'm going to have to check on subs and everything here. So, Jake, unpack one of the teams for me.
I really like how aggressive the Horsemen got on attack there. They got in the faces of TBD, especially with Lady Shot on the Orisa. They pushed up with the Reinhardt and the Zarya and did what they could to be right in front and almost bullying them as you need to when you've got that combination against the other one. I think Orisa's great for the shield up time, but I think at the same time, with the staticness of the shield, it causes that weakness when against the Reinhardt.
And that's that, you know, and I agree that having a placeable shield versus a mobile shield is a pretty big deal, you know. It can definitely kind of, like, if your shield is down right in the front, and in this case the Horseman pushing into it, that really dictates the pace of the fight. You know, you can't really go behind that shield if you have a Reinhardt that's occupying it on the other side.
No. So I know it's a quick cooldown, but like you say, if there is a Reinhardt in your face, it doesn't matter how quick the cooldown is. You've just got to hope that Fortify does enough, but you can get enough headshots and pull him away and do everything in your grasp to get him away from you, right?
Exactly.
But I did like what Team TBD were doing on the bunker. I think it could have worked better, but I don't know what they could have done necessarily. I'd need to rewatch it personally. I think the fact that the Horsemen moved all the way around the point worked really well for them. So we'll have to see how they go with the full payload this time. I think if I was Team TBD, I'd be going with the Reinhardt with how aggressive the Horsemen were with it. I think that worked in their favour there. So trying to combat that straight away, and it might not have been plans and not what they were expecting. So that could be another spanner in the works.
Hey, we'll see, I suppose.
Yeah. But it'll be an interesting one to see who gets the full map, the better map differential for the game.
And that's exactly what it comes down to, is that we aren't going to get a tie here. One of these two teams is going to walk away as the winner, you know? And I'm so happy that both of these teams were able to get their first map win, but it adds that extra level of stress that, you know, somebody's got to win this. Unfortunately, good teamwork and great camaraderie isn't going to be enough to win this, so you actually got to get in there and play to win.
I think it'll be a gritty fight, which is what we want to see. What I want to see anyway. I want to see them both battling it out to the best of their abilities. So.
Yeah, I'm really psyched for this last map to come through. I really want to see both of these teams go at it. Alright, so I'm just waiting for confirmation from both sides that they are ready to duke it out for the win here, for either of these teams to get their first overall win of the season here. So much riding on this. It's pretty ridiculous. But yeah, I agree that the Horsemen coming in with all that aggression. I think Team to be determined. If you give them if you give them enough room, they're going to be able to just hold the line as long as they need to. But with the Horsemen being able to go in and just go ham like that, that disrupts that synergy you get from being able to sit back, and that's kind of a big deal.
Yeah, I think when they did swap to the Junkrat, it made a big difference because they could sit behind the barrier a bit more and just pepper the damage. And they weren't as static, obviously, as they are with the Bastion, but we'll have to see how both teams change going into this. Um, and I'd like to just say a massive thanks to Rocky for um, gifting a tier 1 sub to Hawked Up. Thank you very much, my dude. And we've had some bit donations from Cole as well tonight. So thank you, Cole.
Gotta get on the board, man.
Yeah, man. And thanks everyone for watching. Hope you've enjoyed so far, and let's hope for a great final match.
I don't think we have a choice. I'm pretty sure we're getting a great final match no matter what. Oh man, I want to go in the flaming cart. Damn. But okay, we have Team To Be Determined starting on defense this time. We see Toking Panda sticking with that Ashe. I think that's a good choice for defense. And Vanna going back onto the Junkrat. We have US of Chicky back in the mix on her signature Orisa pick. And we have Always Adriana back onto Diva. On the other side, kind of taking a bit of a page out of Team To Be Determined's book there, where we have Dracos actually switching to the Mei. LA Mewtwo sticking with the and then kind of common placements from their healers as well.
It's interesting that both of them are playing the Orisa, as we've just seen that the Reinhardt caused so much disruption in the last match. I think if I was the Horseman, I'd want to be playing off that. But
oh well, it's what the teams are going with. Ooh, Vanna getting the first pick on LA Mewtwo. No high ground for you, sir.
I think there'll be a res here, yeah.
Yep, and safe res does happen. Ooh, good pull is going to get people off the high ground there. Vanna getting a pick on a Dracos instead. I'll kill both of your DPS. Finally dying to deadly silence, though.
It's the first I've seen of Mewtwo tonight for the Horsemen, but they've had a really nice game.
Yeah, no, LA Mewtwo has been key in getting a lot of picks and ripping apart the... ripping apart Team To Be Determined, but getting a little too aggressive to start there and getting blown up it definitely puts a bit of a stall on your team. Oh, Toking Panda going down to Tornado there.
They went to take the high ground, and it's where Vanna was. So there was
we go, Vanna getting another pick. But Archon is undoing a lot of Vanna's work here, unfortunately. And we have poor Falk is going to get ripped apart there. Oh, nope, getting out. Wow. That's some impressive healing there.
They're slowly moving the cart, but they're not getting enough hits from the Horsemen. They're just kind of pushing them back and not really.
There we go. Mail coming down, not eaten. Doesn't freeze. Oh no, I saw freeze go in there onto our Falk, but Vanna getting a pick on the Dracos is a big deal, definitely. All right, we have a rally coming in now. Archon getting a res on the Dracos again, undoing some of the work. Diva Bomb coming in, lands on top of the gas station, and I think that kind of hurts him. Does get the D back onto Adriana, though.
Yeah. They seem to have... That Risa's put a lot of fight into them, and they have pushed up with it, which is obviously what you're meant to do, and that's a nice fight.
Here comes Mewtwo, ripping him apart with the ultimate right now, damage boosted. And that is going to be the first point taken.
That is all of the ults used for the Horsemen, though. So, coming into the next fight, we've got 4 coming up in total for the Team TBD, so it could be a long hold from them.
Yeah, they're going to definitely have a lot of holding power with all those ultimates to the none of the Horsemen right now.
They've got 4 very attacking ultimates, like especially with the Orisa one, where it gives everyone that damage boost to swarm in and finish off the kills.
Oh, and we have Draco's getting a little aggressive, getting the freeze onto the Diva. D.Va kind of caught behind the wall, but no, there's a doorway there. D.Va's fine. Up here comes the tire. There's the tire going to go on caught by his side.
Lucio gets weird.
And picked up Archon. That is a super key pick right there.
Yeah.
Oop, and picked as well. I feel like you got to call it off as the Horseman right now.
I'd agree with that. I think you drop back and you regroup and wait for everyone to come. They are starting to build some ultimates now, though. With the it looks as if Lucio ult should be up with the.
Ooh, and speaking of LA Mewtwo getting a pick on the Toking there, winning that contest of the high ground. And Tornado getting a pick onto our Falk again. It's going to be even more progress right now for the Horsemen.
The Horsemen are doing just taking the necessary picks. They're not necessarily getting flashy 6Ks and taking full team fights and team wins.
There we go.
But they are doing them
much like that first point. You know, just a slow, controlled team fight is going to be enough to take it and get the next point here. Slow burn over time.
Like I say, they are just picking people off one by one and just chipping away at everybody, which is it works on the payload maps, because if you start trickling in, it just causes such a delayed effect.
And we see right now it's going to be all 6 ultimates for the Horsemen here in just a moment, versus we have 4 and some change, almost 5 for Team 2 be determined. And I look down at chat, trust me, we all want to see US of Chicky punch tires, but unfortunately, not going to happen this time. D.Va Bomb getting launched. Both D.Va Bombs getting launched.
Ultimate.
1.5 to 2.
Than the other.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, here comes a Bob in the back, though. Bob is going to put a good stall on this. Going to force the Lucio ult. I don't know if that was necessary there.
I think the issue for me has been that Team TBD didn't use any of... Team TBD had 4 of those ults. They had the Bob, D.Va Bomb, and the Orisa ult for all of point 2, and didn't use it.
Yeah, you don't have to be as conservative, and we have the Soldier ult here. We have the D.Va going in. I think that's going to be enough. Nope, D.Va's going to touch. We have
and D-Net.
Yep, always Adriana stalling as long as she can, but it's not quite going to be enough. Here we go, US of Chicky back on the point.
Comes out.
Holding just as long as she can, not quite enough, and that's going to be it.
I mean, they get them down to about 2.5 minutes, which in turn isn't a bad defense. But I think if you use some of their ultimates sooner and get aggressive, I think you take that time back down a lot further.
I would agree with that. Yeah, you have time to use the ults. It's just, you know, if you're trying to be on a team, trying to make sure you're coordinating ults, sometimes that can cause a bit of a delay in communication. But yeah, you definitely want to streamline those ultimates a little bit more, get them moving a little bit faster, I'd say. Excuse me, for Team 2 be determined.
I understand the Orisa one a little bit. It is one of the longer ults to build, but the likes of your D.Va and your Ashe, who build them pretty quickly, and especially Moira. Moira is probably the quickest ult in the game.
It's pretty close.
I think Moira and Tracer, if you're doing your job, Moira obviously healing and Tracer annoying people, you can build them both very quickly. So
we have the bunker comp again coming out on defense for the Horsemen rather.
It can
set
work.
up on the gas station here.
If you move to the edges here, you can affect the payload, so you don't actually have to lose the high ground to be stopping the payload as well. So it is very useful. And
right, here we go.
LMU2 up front just scouting to check what they've got.
So we do see the Baptiste coming in for Team 2 be determined here. No bunker per se, but they are pushing up on this Baptiste. Getting a little bit of free progress, at least until they get up to this choke point where they're going to see the bunker. So they know the bunker's up there.
It's US of Chicky that's actually taken over the Baptiste, with Vada moving over to the
wall goes up. That's going to be a good stall to kind of close out the Bastion's line of sight there.
They've got a lot of free push here. A lot of free push.
Problem being, though, that there's just guns firing on every conceivable corner. But ultimately, I don't know if that's going to matter at this point.
No,
they're
still
just pushing up here. Weird placement for the immortality field, but... Oh, there we go. Toking goes down. Followed by US of Chicky, unfortunately. Yeah. Freeze is strong from always Adriana, but not quite enough here.
I would reset up if I was the Bastion. I don't know where. With obviously being moved and the amount of progress they gave up. Because where the Bastion currently is, it is very diveable. But they've not really got the dive to do it. So
I was gonna say that would also kind of depend on Team 2 be determined to actually get in there and get the dive going. But right now, you know, decent bit of ult economy for both sides.
And that's a nice pick from the mayor to get the soldiers so quickly.
So I hear a Mayo coming down. Oh, and a good charge. Picks are coming through pretty quickly right now. Oh, for Team 2 be determined. Oh, Adriana getting a little ahead of that shield. That's pretty bad.
And they're just stalling out now, I think. I would imagine this is a Team TBD's fight, but...
It's looking like that, but there is an immortality field for them to contend with, though. That's the problem right now. And they aren't really focusing it that I can see. There we go. Finally goes down. There's a charge down on the side here.
Oh,
yep, he gets a pick on the Toking Panda.
And they're just going for US of Chicky now.
I think that's going to be it.
That's it. That was a great hold.
To be determined, unfortunately, close but no cigar.
Yeah, they do have 3 ults coming up, and I'd like to see how they use them. Oh, 2 ults, sorry. Oh,
no, it's 3. You were right. You were right. It's just the D.Va getting demacked. No hack bomb this time, unfortunately, and not quite a freeze bomb either, especially not when Adriana's dead. So we
but
shall
you
see.
can do a shatter bomb.
That's true. If you can set up a decent shatter into the bomb. Team 2 be determined is putting us to the edge every time, so it wouldn't really surprise me.
Yeah. I'd like to see them pick off the Bastion first, but where he's set up with the sightlines and with the soldier supporting, I think it's going to be very difficult.
I would agree with that. There we go. I wanted to follow up on Dracos and see where Dracos is hiding out. 2 picks already, 30 seconds left for the Horsemen is a pretty big deal. I hear the hammer go down, but unfortunately, sounds like it's not really getting much anybody relevant.
No, it was kind of an effort by the Reinhardt on the run, from what it looks like.
So here comes a D.Va bomb launched into the back, doesn't get anybody.
They seem to have lost
Toking getting a pick on LA is important. And the Mail coming down too. There's a Frozen Baptiste behind that immortality field. There we go, lots of frozen bodies. Dracos is ulting in the back though, followed by Toking getting a good ultimate there, getting 2. D.Va bomb only gets the immortality field.
It does, yeah.
Here we go, but we have good damage boost field with LA Mewtwo there. This could be either team's fight right now. It could go either way. Trades back and forth. It's starting to feel like we're in the Horsemen's favor, though.
I would
They need to kill that Mercy off first.
TBD should win this, but Deadly's holding on the D.Va very well.
Yep. It just gets the immortality field again.
But it has
Hammer comes down, gets 1. So Vanna does get a charge kill onto D-Wade there. LA Mewtwo gets a pick back. I mean, if we step off the payload, it's over. So Team 2 be determined, probably very aware of the stakes right now. Oop. So Freeze comes down onto the point. That's going to guarantee him a little bit more progress.
Them, I would imagine.
Yep, that'll do it finally. And so we have a little bit of a last-ditch effort by Dracos, but not quite enough. That Mercy's on the point. What are you doing, bro? Archon on the point for some reason.
I think he realized he was caught out and wanted to reset.
He could have ran away with the Lucio, though. They were both in the little hallway.
I think the doors were opening and they just got scared. It's understandable, but...
I suppose that is true. I can give him a bit of a pass, but Still, very risky business. Either way, 2 minutes left right now for Team 2B determined to push this payload in the next area.
Unless they get this through very quickly, it is
Good
impossible
wall.
for them
Cuts
to
off
get a
the
better time
basket there.
down.
Ultimates again
And
kind of getting launched.
Oh,
charge down hits the Orisa.
Yeah, and he pays for it.
Token gets a kill at least back, but right now, kills in the favor of the Horsemen again. And the res on the Dracos, it's probably over here. Yeah. The Team 2B determined needs to back off here. I don't think they're going to be able to do much with this.
No, I would agree there. That's a team wipe pretty much.
Not quite. There's a body still running around somewhere around here. There we go. Running back to the team. So ult economy pretty strong for both sides right now. We have 3 to 4, almost 5 on one side, and actually it's almost all 6 for Team 2B determined. So this is going to be a hectic fight at the end here. We're already down to less than a minute on this point. So Team 2B determined needs to take a big fight and push it all the way right now.
I would agree with that. I think Team the Horsemen, sorry.
Oh, but here comes the Diva Bomb. Doesn't quite make it over the ice wall there, so no kills.
I think I would now wait for them to try and engage on you and have the bastion set up.
Oh, there we go. Got some cheeky dice first, though. Not good to lose your healer right at the start. We have a freeze going down a little behind, but unfortunately Vanna goes down.
The only person it got was Blade on the Lucio.
Toking ults dies. We have Galaxy Cat getting a good kill on the Dracos.
Yeah, that's a huge pick. But they've still not really moved the cart. They are getting a couple of picks.
Oh, here we go.
Now trading.
And here comes the ultimate from LA Mewtwo again. We have a hammer coming down somewhere in the back line. LA Mewtwo, I think, is putting an end to this fight.
Yeah, that was...
I think that's going to be it.
Saying not today.
Maybe not.
Yeah.
We have the Reaper on point. There we go. Toking trying.
Not for long.
That is going to do it. Great win from the Horsemen there, taking their first match win of the season.
That was huge. Congrats to the Horsemen. It looked like they had a plan and they stuck to it. You two had a fantastic game overall.
Absolutely.
For me.
Yeah, this was during the overtime at the end here, just gunning down, dodging that Reinhardt and just going to town on him.
Yeah.
Very well done by Mewtwo, and excellent job by the Horsemen to take their first match win of the season.
Congrats to both teams.
Oh, absolutely.
Obviously,
both teams have a lot to be proud of here. Both of them taking a map win at least. So that was the first map win for both sides, and it just happens to also be the first match win for the Horsemen here.
Yeah, who were part, obviously, was quite a lot of the Horsemen from Squad 32 who were part of the league last year. So they do have some experience of the league and how it goes, but it's good to see them pick up the first win of season 2, right?
Absolutely.
You don't want anyone to.
Yeah, both teams have a lot to be proud of here, with both teams kind of having some major roster changes, like losing or different players kind of phasing out for both sides. Seeing the new lineup for both of them, very impressive, Again, both of them taking their first map win of Season 2, and the Horsemen obviously taking the match win of Season 2, but both teams have a lot to be proud of. You cannot be mad with the results of these.
No, I think both team captains should go away from this as quite happy. There's stuff obviously to work on for both teams. You both lost a map at least, right? Like even when you don't. It's good for both sides, and it's nice to see them after such a tough week or the last 2 weeks come out and show that they still want it. They still want to win.
Absolutely. Both teams finally showing, like we always see strong showings from both sides, of course, but now with both teams with wins under their belts. It's good to see the fruits of both of their efforts kind of paying off. So I have invited Tornado to the party. See if we can get some captain interviewing down here for the end of this. It absolutely has to be an exciting match for both sides. But
Yeah, I think it'd be good to see if Tolkien wants to join as well to have a chat at the end just after Tornado for the win as well for the map that they did win.
We can try. Yeah, we'll see. I did invite Tornado. We'll see if Tornado joins up for us to have a quick interview here. But yeah, just to unpack what we saw, it could have, even on Route 66 there, I feel like it could have gone either way. But one thing I will commend the Horsemen for doing was really controlling the high ground. It felt like, even though it kind of bit them a little bit when LA Mewtwo got picked off right at the beginning there as the Soldier, after that point, Soldier kept a very healthy distance and was able to take full advantage of being above the rest of Team 2B Determined the whole time, and there they all go. So I don't know if we're getting an interview out of them. But either way, still, they were able to control terrain very effectively, having either the gas station or the canyon behind it or those shops and going into that second point there. They always seem to have full control over the high ground. And even though Team 2B Determined was really good at kind of fighting back and was able to take little bits and pieces, it wasn't enough to fully dislodge like any of the 3 or 4 different angles that they were getting shot from.
Yeah, I'd like to agree with that. I think, especially on defense as well, with the what's called the Bastion. They worked really well at moving him around and not making sure that he wasn't in the same place for each attack and making sure that they kept it different and changed where on the high ground they were at and used the cover on the high ground very well.
Mm-hmm. But so I don't know if Tornado is going to join us or not, but either way, I do want to make a mention to those who necessarily aren't familiar. We play this a lot like the Overwatch League, where every single win is very important. So right now, with just that one win, Team 2B Determined is already, they have a lead over several other teams in the league because they were able to take a win here. So it was a 2-1 in favor of the Horsemen, but that one win can still be very impactful for Team 2B Determined in the future.
Yeah, especially from week 1 and then the game earlier this week as well. Most of the maps have been 3-0.
Yes, yeah, 90% of them have been, at least in that first week there.
So the first that one map win can be changing the fight. I mean, Tornado's staying, so I don't know if he's.
I mean, he was invited to the party, so I'm not 100% sure. I can try and invite him to the party again to try and reiterate my point that we're trying to interview him. So I have shot him another invite. But yeah, still very commendable effort from both sides. It's exactly what we would want to see from our Nerfed League teams. Both of these teams kind of duking it out, going all the way to the end, and it's always exciting to cast games like this where both teams are putting in a hell of a fight, and it's a back and forth, endless struggle like it was. There we go. There's the man of the hour, Tornado. How are you, my friend?
Shattered.
Well said.
I'm very surprised you agreed to a game as late as this, my friend. It is very late for us over here.
Right. You know what, the other team have been really good, actually, because this match had to move a couple of times, and we really appreciate them chatting it through with us really thoroughly.
It was a great match from both of you.
Yeah, congratulations on your first match win of the season, man. Good job.
Yeah, feels good. Team are buzzing. It's a nice feeling. It was hard work. Like the chat was insane, but yeah, it certainly felt a lot more comfortable than we played before as well.
That's good to hear. Yeah, and we had to comment that this was kind of the first map win for both of your teams. So when both of you had won one, we knew this was going to be a slugfest going into Game 3 because it's a lot riding on the table at that point. But the Horsemen ultimately emerging victorious. So we saw on multiple occasions that you guys were utilizing this newfangled bunker comp. So walk me through the mentality on why the bunker comp. What made it feel like that was the effective strategy?
I think on Paris, when you've got that long choke to begin with, it seemed like an obvious pick on there, just because the amount of damage you can throw down that alley. But they countered it really well with the Sombra. And we could have controlled our movement there better, but that was the theory. Throw some damage down there. And we've tried a few things on point B on Paris. And again, just in terms of having the threat of the Bastion, just focusing everyone's attentions on him was the way we were playing. But again, we were kicking ourselves. We just didn't move at the right times. But yeah, so that's why we went bunker for Paris. Then on Iconvold, we started on it just to kind of, again, try and force them down a certain alley, thinking, again, they'd probably break it. But then we're quite confident on a payload.
We could tell.
Play around a payload. Yeah, this is it. We seem to have a good synergy with the big rolling car. So we
you were getting very aggressive, which I liked. You were using the aggression and getting in their faces, which prevented them from stopping the car a lot of the time.
Yeah, that's taken a bit of work actually. It's the first time we've been able to bring. Yeah, we didn't manage to bring Dwayne in last time actually. We brought him in today, and he's like, it felt nice working with him today actually on the Rhine. So
it was the first time I've seen LME2 as well, who did a fantastic job for you on the soldier.
Yeah, we found Mew start of this week, and he's been playing DPS with us, and yeah, stunning, absolutely stunning.
Definitely.
But for his rank, he just needs a bit of protecting. So.
Yeah, we saw some moments where he was able to take over a game, but when he was focused down, it felt like a little bit of your strategy kind of broke down, and it made it very difficult to go forward because he maybe got a little too aggressive.
Yeah, this is it, and we just need to work with him to help him see when he can be aggressive, but also allow him to be aggressive at the right times as well.
There we go.
Because you can see the damage he can do when we allow him to be aggressive. When he's got the space to do it. So.
He was working well with the Reaper from Dracos as well, which was nice to see.
Yeah, and it's nice as well because they've got. I won't say who at this stage, but we've got a few more heroes we can combo in there as well. So
sure.
That went really well, and then to be honest, after the Iconvold had kind of worked in terms of just forcing him onto a certain comp, we thought, we'll run it again on Route 66. It worked once. You've got high ground on there, which you haven't really got in Paris, or Iconvold to be able to run it. So, yeah, we're happy with it.
It worked really well with the high ground.
Mm-hmm.
So
speaking of high ground, let's talk about that third game though. That had to be a nail biter on your guys' side with the comms. So what was running through your head when you were kind of running it down? Like it's like, okay, we just have to get it like halfway, like just a little bit further into this point. Like what was going through your guys' head during that final push?
We found there was a period when we started off, we were quite happy, and we'd been focusing down the kills pretty well, and then I can't remember what happened now, but they'd thrown a couple of ults in, and we lost a couple of heads, and we had to kind of regroup a little bit. But then at the same time, when we came back again, the same kind of team fight happened again, but we knew we had spawn advantage because of the speed of our players, speed of the heroes we had at the time, and so we just tried to brawl it out, and towards the end we finally managed to focus the kills as a team again, and that's what got it. But it was pretty nuts in the chat.
I have to believe that. That had to have been wild.
The one thing we've really been working on is how we use our ults, and it's such a knee-jerk reaction in a brawl like that to just throw them down. And we were desperately trying to save.
You've got to try and stop to yourself, haven't you?
Yeah, and that was it in the end. We just managed to save a couple, even just waiting 5-10 seconds, and it made a difference. But yeah, Iconvold was tough, and we kind of thought if we can hold them there, we weren't too worried about the third point actually, because we liked defending in there as well. So, but again, it was like the adrenaline that pumps through.
Oh God, yeah,
insane. And again, being able to play in a more aggressive Rhine than I did last time as well. Walking in Chaos's shoes a little bit here. When you're protected and you can just go in, it's just.
Oh, absolutely. I can respect that feeling 100%.
So good. so good. And it's just
But-
team. That's my team around me.
And
So, yeah, I'm
that's
lucky to have
exactly
the
what
team
it
I
takes
have.
to run a Reinhardt. I completely agree with you. Knowing that your team is going to be able to support you through your shenanigans and being able to just go hog wild is perfect as a Reinhardt.
Yeah, it is so good. So yeah, but yeah, I mean, TBD. I mean, we both had setbacks this week, both teams, but like the
We've
way they
both
work
been through it.
together. Well, this is it. We just stuck together as much as we could, and we've all come out of it well. And I hope the other team have as well. I think the like their coordination was really strong. Like, you know, we were kind of looking at some of their plays, going, okay,
Right?
we'll note that one. You know, it was. I mean, the EMP bomb was amazing.
Oh my god, dude! I was almost
that
screaming
was-
at that. That was so wild.
It was,
was so
very
well
well
timed.
placed. Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, on the Orisa, I was thinking, right, I'm hugging this corner. I can get around. If they throw it in, we can get around the corner. And she put it in exactly the right place. Because if it had gone into the corner of the room, I'd have been through the doorway okay. But it landed right in the doorway. I was like, oh.
So
So
but
that,
yeah,
they
again,
did that really
congratulations though to you and to the Horsemen on your first match win of season number 2, and just incredible plays from you guys.
It was awesome. Yeah, thanks very much for casting as well, guys. And again, thanks again to TBD. It was great. Yeah, good games.
All right. Any questions,
Get to sleep,
Jake? Or are we
Tornado.
good?
I'm sure you're tired. No, I'm all good. I'm all good. I'm sure Tornado's ready for some sleep.
I won't be able to sleep for hours now.
I was gonna say you say that assuming the adrenaline just disappears.
Yeah,
No, we've got a bank holiday weekend. I'm going to need it.
There you go. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us, Tornado, and once again, congratulations to you and your team on the win.
Thank you very much.
But all right. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, I think we can pretty much call it a night. That was, you couldn't ask for a better game on a Friday night / a Saturday morning for y'all European folk. But,
yeah, it's a nice Saturday morning. We'll have the sun soon.
There you go. No kidding. So, looking ahead right now, our next game is going to be the passive-aggressive Raptors versus Catastrophe. And that is going to be next week on Wednesday, May 8th, and that is going to be 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central. I have no idea what time that is in European time. Late.
Brent Nowacki. I think that's about the same time as what this has started. So I think it's
8
about,
o'clock. Yeah, you're right. So sometime around
1
now-ish.
a.m.
So there you go.
1 to 2 a.m.
So I of course, we always appreciate the European side, but I will not blame you for sleeping on that one. But either way, everybody, thank you for joining us this evening for this absolutely spectacular game between these two teams. And yeah, I look forward to seeing everybody again next week.